Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Atelier Ryza 3. Disguised as a god, Kong Ming comes forth from Longsheng / Racing for Saber Gateway. Zhang He falls into a trap. I'm the mysterious JG.
And I am a god disguised as lethal feline. Welcome back.
As he is every day. You know, if I run out of chapter titles here, I could always go with like Thomas the Tank Engine episodes.
Oh
Or
boy.
various terrifying titles that refer in some way or another to spirals. Anyway, it's time for us to get back to the town. Hall of Silence. That's a lie. I guess this is considered a Hall of Silence quest.
Well, we have to go get permission, remember?
I know, but from this screen, Hall of Silence and Forgotten Village are two different places that each have a quest. But when you come in here, the quest for the only quest that could possibly be for Hall of Silence is like
The
right
one with
on.
the red thing over it?
No, I'm saying that it's the one that's sitting over here at the Forgotten Village, not at Hall of Silence. And I'm trying to say is that this game is lying to us. Unless this is...
The Hall of Silence is not a village, though.
You're right, Hill of Silence. What I'm saying is, when you come out to this map, they're telling you, oh, Hill of Silence has this quest. When you come in here, it's like all the quests are at the Forgotten Village. Unless they mean this... I guess they could mean that thing.
That's a normal quest over there.
Yeah. All right. We're going to the village. Because we need to get these rubes permission. You got the ruin. Got the ruins entrance open. Not even the Research Institute could do that. Sure.
Oh, if you don't mind, we'd like to take a look around inside.
Yeah, be my guest. You unlocked it after all. I'll let the villagers know.
If it's not too much trouble, we'd like to go around and say hello to them ourselves.
I forbid it. For some reason. You were saying something?
No, I was going to say, weren't you just saying to do that anyway?
They'd like that. They're very lonely. Carry on, then.
All right.
I'm just going to stand
Let's
here.
talk to the people. My favorite.
The people.
I love talking to the people. They're all on the other side of the bridge to the north, apparently.
Mm-hmm. They're Northerners. They're Yankees. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, let's go talk to the Yanks. You have some other quest.
No, they're all the same one. All the ones with the blue
right.
hexagons.
Oh my goodness, you opened the entrance to those ruins? That's amazing. Even the Research Institute couldn't do it.
You don't... Hey, do you know why the Research Institute was investigating those ruins?
I'm afraid I don't, but my grandmother once said there were talks about power necessary to the kingdom. It sounded very exciting to me as a child, and I still remember it to this day. Isn't it strange how I'm an old woman who looks like an old woman rather than a child? Bizarre, eh?
Not especially.
Oh, okay, well, never mind.
You're not interested. Bye now.
But a long time ago, someone said something interesting to me. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Please go ahead.
No, I mean,
No.
I'll be doing resist lines.
Wow, you came all this way just to poke around these ruins? That's a first.
This place doesn't get many visitors, does it? It's like looks at camera, forgotten.
Only the occasional merchant or explorer. As you can see, there's not much around here. Most visitors only stay overnight.
Well, that sounds pretty lonely.
Suits us fine. I mean, on the contrary, the people who live here enjoy a quiet, peaceful life without a bunch of loud-mouthed, Atelier types. Outsiders aren't unwelcome, but our community is the perfect size for us as it is. Any larger and it would be uncomfortable.
Any larger and we'd have to change the sign at the front of town.
So, it's not... our village size isn't small. It's just right for us. So if you wouldn't mind, don't go telling people about us. We don't need a bunch of tourists.
Of course. We won't even tell our families about your very exciting place that you live.
I sense that you're hiding the fact that you don't tell your family anything, but that's okay. Thank you. It's much appreciated. This isn't there isn't much, but feel free to have a look around.
Actually, I was making like that this place isn't that interesting.
I can't believe that anyone could possibly think that way. It's inconceivable to me.
I mean, you like your peace, your peace and quiet is probably best it's not interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm a kindly man, and I'm kindly asking you to go away. Like, go talk to this person, and don't fight purple
Oh
dinosaurs.
my goodness.
Barney really wants to fight us here. And it looks like he's going to have his wish.
Unless we jump over the railing.
Don't think we can do that. Oh, wait a second. Oh. We could probably spend more time avoiding this fight. Oh, hold on. Now, oh, there you go. He finally fucked off.
He evaporated, as the, cycle dictates.
Yeah, speaking of Neo, it had a mechanic where you have human enemies and you have yokai enemies, and never the two shall mix. So there would just be like a lion and a human would be staring off in the distance, and a monster would wander up behind them, and this is happening here. So you're going to check out those ruins? If you find any treasure, I'd love to see it. I'm really bored here in Boring Village.
Treasure? Has anyone ever found any?
I don't think so. But there's an old battlefield around there, right? I think they were fighting over some treasure in the ruins. I mean, maybe it wasn't a rune when they started fighting? Whatever. Apparently, some valuable ornaments have been found in that area.
Maybe they belong to the people who are fighting.
The other day, I found a jar with a letter in it, but I can't read what it says. You're an alchemisto, aren't you? If you're interested, you can have it.
Well, thank you. We'll have our resident nerd decipher it for us.
Hey, I'm sure there's more buried treasure around there, so it might be interesting to have a look. The worst
You acquire
recipe.
the worst recipe.
You know, and you can go check it out, the ruins, for more new ornaments and have the merriest Christmas of them all. Everybody was so friendly. No one seemed suspicious, so guarded with us.
Interesting. You sound different than usual. People are usually wary once they find out we're alchemistos. Usually they're like getting, torches and pitchforks.
No one's ever been suspicious of me. Not in the capital, not in Sardonica, not even in Ferrari.
I am suspicious of that weird person who just said something about what that letter said, though.
It seems that this place is mostly unknown to outsiders.
Now, the skull hole of Kevin Nash are familiar.
Only a few merchants pass through here from the sounds of it, and maybe some occasional explorers. Not even Claudia's heard of it, and she is well-traveled
Yeah, that's right.
in many ways.
I didn't want to acknowledge it, never heard of it. I was told you in confidence, but okay. Nope, not even a rumor. Also, what do you mean in many ways? What are you implying?
Hearing that a lot of things are buried around the ruins is pretty intriguing. I'd like to look for old documents.
I'm interested in the old battlefield. It reminds Lethal of Way of the Samurai 3, where you had to find some granny panties out there. There must be lots of weapons from the Clint Kingdom era there.
Yeah, I had a very
As well.
had a very slight tickle in the throat, which is the only reason I didn't start reading those lines in Dion's voice.
That's good.
There's no evidence of Fallujah or an invasion, though. I wonder who they were fighting.
Well, you did it there.
Oh, wait.
He started dancing around and shit.
Come on, guys. We just need to stay focused.
Although I suppose we could go back. Here, read the line.
There's no evidence of Fallujah or an invasion, though. I wonder who they were fighting. Maybe it was Dion over who was supposed to speak next.
I do appreciate you were able to read that line as Dion stares angrily into your soul.
It's because I read the name over the text box.
Our number one priority is the ruins. Everything else has to come after that.
Yes, he's right. To think Dion has become the voice of reason here.
Yes, we've really lost our touch. Really, for now, the most important question is, what was the purpose of those ruins? And what was the power necessary for the kingdom the Research Institute was trying to find? If they had to segregate an entire region to search for something, it must have been pretty powerful.
Yeah,
Why are you looking at me, Federica?
Blink.
Well, time to get Don't put your hands like snow. That distracts me when I'm reading my lines. Time to get to the head of the ruins and find out.
Yeah, then we can rescue Sarah.
I'm just happy that Tao is translating ancient texts and not reading about architecture. There'll be trouble if that happens again. What does this jerk want? He wants something we don't have.
Yeah,
Love.
You'd have to look at your normal quest for that one.
Yep.
I can't remember what he wanted last session.
Nah, but whatever it is, we don't have it. We're not getting it right now. We got other things to do, so. Crush and clear, yeah.
It's time to head over there.
Yep. 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 Okay. Hey, suppose the Hill of Silence is anywhere near Silent Hills?
No, that would be infringement.
Yeah, okay. Good call.
And Koei Tecmo does not own that franchise.
Now, they could license it and do, like, Silent Hill Warriors.
Well, no, they could make a pachinko machine, but I don't think Konami is interested in anything else other than the remakes they've already made.
No, this is Koei, not Konami. Oh, yeah, Konami, sorry, it's Silent Hill. I mean, they could have, like, they got a Rumble Roses pachinko. Surely there's a Silent Hill pachinko.
There is.
Okay. Now, Rumble Roses Warriors, that would be my favorite game that was ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Nobunaga's ambition. Rise to power. He just got knocked off the list.
This is your chance to say something, Tao, in that voice that's totally yours. Where's JG going, by the way?
Well, there's a different quest that's hanging out in the middle of this place.
Well,
Although I'd have to look up what it is before we could know what to be looking for. Yeah, I could do my Tao voice. I could be like,
All right, it's time for us to gather our forces and defeat the Takeda once and for all. Yay! Yoshimoto Imagawa, you're fucked.
very good.
very good.
You can stop now.
I never expected so many traps. What traps? I suppose they were really worried about intruders. I can't believe we managed to avoid being crushed by Mega Rock.
Even so, it feels like dark deception in here. It feels like overkill. Do you really think there, could be a gate in here?
Well, I don't see why not. There were lots of traps, even though none of them were shown.
No, judging by the look of these ruins, there shouldn't be any gate. The ancients built all kinds of contraptions to seal gates closed using fairy stones from the underworld. Which could be that thing over in the distance, but it isn't. It's hard to imagine ruins of this size concealing a well-sealed gate. Usually they're more compact and economical.
It could be concealing a sloppily sealed gate. But that doesn't mean there isn't something else hidden here. Keep your eyes open and try not to stare at my chest.
It's going to be hard for me, especially.
Yeah, I'll just adjust that Millennium Eye of yours until you can't see them.
That's the whole reason I have the Millennium Eye.
I can see your boobs no matter what card you play.
The windup was a little long on that one.
I actually wasn't anticipating. Wow! Oh, hey, is these DLC enemies maybe? I was wondering about this whole quest. Feels like it might be part of the DLC that we're getting into early.
It is.
And then these guys are actually not dying as quickly as enemies that weren't. So maybe this is like an interim. This is not the everything beats your face into death DLC, which I'm expecting one of them will be. This is a Not quite that bad DLC.
I still am a pretty big fan of this particular monster design. I'm glad we got some new ones finally.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they keep these games coming out at a pace where you can play one and the next one's ready by the time you've 100% cleared it, but it hasn't left a lot of time for new monster designs. I'm glad that they threw in a few.
Also, I'm glad those ones are patient with us. They're like, maybe we don't need the die today.
Here, you just killed the red guys. They're tougher than us. We're just aqua guys.
Aquaplastias.
Quick, back to the first town.
He doesn't remember what it is. What's the matter, Mr. Tao?
Why has your voice changed back to the nerdy boy voice that I prefer you not use when we're in private?
Look, a journal, and it's written in the language of the Clint Kingdom.
Yep, just ignore what I said.
So the Clint Kingdom was investigating this place too. What does it say?
A kingdom that prospered through alchemy in the old days. It has advanced alchemy and built gates to the underworld to plunder resources from the underworld, but it fell into decline after the Battle of Fallujah, which I think we then also found out were weapons of the ancient people, who I guess aren't the Clint Kingdom. So yeah, I got it.
Well, it's pretty beat up. From what little is still legible here, ... Damaged by a demon and an otherworldly relic, and then something about the key to reviving the kingdom.
The key to reviving the kingdom, which means this is written after the invasion. The Research Institute also mentioned the power for the kingdom. I wonder if it had something to do with this otherworldly relic. Look.
Pal, you don't think this is something that these kids shouldn't even know about, do you?
I think they're old enough, possibly. But we've already come this far. Let's wait and see before jumping into any conclusions.
Oh, I like jumping to conclusions.
I know you do.
Fun.
It's one of those. Oh my
A
goodness.
DLC big bad even.
It's swirling with fragments or something. Gonna breathe on it? You breathe on
I'm
it.
curious if that does anything.
It is supposed to.
Well, this guy resists magic, but they want me to do magic to get their extra crap off. So we'll see what happens there.
I don't think it's resisting it quite enough.
No, yeah, you got a point there.
As he frequently does.
Maybe that the elemental magics these guys do when I do non-elemental damage to get them, you know, whatever. Like if I'm just doing generic magic, it might not have been doing anything, but then the attacks they do because I did the trigger command, maybe they did damage that was like worth
If you use generic magic, they don't care. But if you use the brand name one, then they care.
I meant non-elemental, but yeah, it's still fun. All right. Good thing we got all these fancy ropes.
Ibuprofen? No. Advil. Now actually.
Oh my god, there's question marks in this rock.
We got moon fragments. That rock was made of the moon.
I was going to say next time, moon fragment.
On behalf of the moon, we will fragment you. We will fragment your hard drive.
Although that was a Tenchi Muyo reference.
It was, but it was
You can mix
actually
up your
a
It's all
Tenchi.
good.
No, it was Tenchi Muyo. You're right. I was going to say Tenchi in Tokyo, but that would have been a lie, a vicious lie. Tenchi in Tokyo, also a anime that features one of our favorite tropes, a character who has no existence whatsoever when the character they were created to entertain is not around.
Which one? Tell us in the comments.
What is this girlfriend?
I'm
goes to his-
trying to get you engagement.
Oh. but I don't remember her name. Do you know her name? Tell us in the comments.
Also, his girlfriend is like, that's specific enough.
Oh, come on. That show featured only, like, you know, it's not like that was a whole theme of the entire show.
Yeah, it's not like it's from a genre where the guy has like 20 billion love interests.
I remember years ago being on an anime forum and somebody said something. I don't even remember what they said, but the person responded by saying, "That's crazy. That's like saying all harem anime are just like Tenchi Muyo." And I was like,
Now, some of them make a lot more sense than Tenchi Muyo. There's one, like the latest one, I watch it, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Well, where's the hilarious mishaps? It's like I'm watching episode 1 of Star Wars with these goddamn dialogue we got going.
Where's the older woman who disguises herself as a little girl and there's like handjob humor? Like, where's that? That's what I want, not complex.
That's Washu, and she's the coolest.
No,
she's
yeah.
like this.
And the
she's
mecha,
smart.
the mecha Washu chans are like the best conceit ever.
She's a Bulma level genius, is why I like to refer to her as. Because like Bulma, smartest character in like Dragon Ball, creates fucking time machines and stuff, and Dragon Radars. Washu's the same thing. She's creating cat rabbits that can transform into spaceships through undisclosed means. It doesn't fucking matter.
She's the smartest character in a show that's known for genius level intellects like Goku and Krillin.
Also, for some reason, that spaceship that turns into a cat rabbit can also turn into a little girl type character as well. There's no reason for that to happen, but you know what? Washu's got the time, and she said, "Fuck it, let's have some fun."
She's like, you know what? I made myself little like robotic cheerleaders that can like, you know, spontaneously appear on my shoulders. I can make a time machine. Fairy horn adornment.
Finally,
horn
something. Finally, something for my fairy horn. It's been unclothed all this whole time.
This is the most boring ass unadorned fairy horn you could imagine. Remember in the second game where we had beaten the entire game and we're like, what the fuck was going on with that flaming castle? And then we were like, oh, it's DLC. We're not having that problem here.
The door is locked. And look at all the marks left by the people who tried to pry it open.
A bunch of marks, a bunch of rubes. Let's see, D-I-A-N, okay.
So this must be as far as the Kingdom Explorers got.
This is the most sincere I've ever seen Dion. It's if it's locked this tight, it must have led to the height of the ruins.
Well, you think I was being sincere? I thought if you were sincere, you touched Claudia's breasts. I thought that's what for. So boss really wants to be sincere.
Then she just kicks it.
Ha! Look at that. Some typical ancient trickery.
Makes me want to do my snow impression.
Have you figured out how to open the door? I open you. Door?
Yep, the key is an ore. But not just any ore. It's a special kind only found in the underworld. You have to let the ore's power flow through you like hate in order to unlock the door.
It has a sickly red glow like some kind of demonic blood. It's gonna be great.
In otherworldly relic, you said ore, but relic, I see that's what the Clint Kingdom people actually meant.
So only those who can access the underworld can open this door, and only the penitent man can pass.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to find that ore, which is not pentatite.
It's not pentatite. Oh, crap. I thought it was going to be pentatite. I'm so excited.
You do not have any of the item which can be used. Could ore from the underworld mean crystals?
Prepared adamantine with a quality of 100 or more. Then bring it to the ruins to get your voucher and your stamp.
Well, we can see. I would assume that if it's this underworld ore, that we would need some kind of underworld ingredients. But perhaps it will already be available to us. Well, it's not positioned right at the top of this.
Mm-hmm.
But we can make fairy wood.
Well, that's adjacent to adamantine ore.
It's practically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Grand Organ does not seem to be what they're looking for.
Nope.
Even though that is the one that you make with Underworld crap in... I guess not. In this game, it's Rainbow Gemstones. I'm not sure if that's what it was last time.
What was the quest say?
Thinking. Prepare adamantine with quality of 5 or more. Bring the adamantine to the ruins. And it doesn't seem to be showing up as a synthesis recipe, as you might expect. Maybe Age of God manual is necessary to make adamantine? I doubt it. It's not how that would normally work.
So, my hint to you would be go to Wendell,
Wendell? The holy city of Wendell?
the underworld.
I don't even vaguely recall where that is.
Well, first it's in another region. There you go.
Right.
Underground Orem. And what sites do we have? I think we all... No, go to the Great Tree of Erdus. There's supposedly some gray rocks over here that can give us adamantine. Not that one. The Great Tree of Erdus.
No, I
The one that
know,
you're-
but I was looking to see if there's anything called Wendell, because you mentioned Wendell.
Wendell's the
Wendell's
city
the name
for
of the-
Coloas.
No, it was called Wendell. You said Wendell. Right. Okay. It's weird, though. No, because it would be one thing if it was like, okay, we have the recipe for adamantine and it requires this rock. Where do we get it? Oh, you need to get that from here. And you don't necessarily know that. But this is like, we don't have the recipe. So I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll get a recipe if we actually break some gray rocks in this area. Apparently, we need a tier 3 hammer to actually break these rocks.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We've had tier 3 everything
There's
for
a
a
rock.
long ass time.
And there's some sort of... You have a marker.
Ah, so apparently it didn't even show up before, or we never used a rock here. Adamant. Well, there you go.
We
So it
probably
wasn't
need that
it
for
wasn't something we're
adamantine.
alchemizing at all. It's just an ingredient.
Well, adamant and adamantine, I believe, are maybe different. It's hard to say.
Well, they're both fictional, so yeah. They are both
Let's
fictional, aren't they?
see.
I thought they were both fictional.
Well, they are.
You know what? We live in an era where someone might have discovered something and they were a nerd, so they named it adamantine after Wolverine.
Nerds don't do things. Everyone knows that.
Well, they say you're supposed to, if you ever like discover a star, you should name it after your girlfriend, and yet people who discover stars don't always have girlfriends.
Well, that's the best thing I got because this particular quest is not well documented.
That's all good. I mean, that's already. We would have, we would have been kind of fucked just not knowing that at this random place the plot wasn't telling us to return to. We hadn't collected every type of ingredient while we were there. So you have already done God's work, sir. And you are, after all, a god in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Let us return to the Atelier. That way we can save our game. But before we do that, we can poke in here real quick and see.
Nothing new there.
No
huh?
new recipe, but prepare adamantine.
Oh, it says 3 of 5. So yeah, we just need to get more of those. This fucking thing.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, okay. It's not adamantium. It's adamantine. All right, just while we're thinking of it, let's just fast travel back and grab a few more.
Yep.
Before we can get too distracted with the various other things and stuff going on in our crazy world.
There you go.
That should do it, and I'm gonna find one more just so that we've got some in the stock for next time.
You might need it to make Grand Organ and stuff.
Yeah, it seems. Well, we saw the recipe for Grand Organ. Did not seem to call for this, but
Maybe
I don't
there's
think
a stronger recipe.
Yeah, I think in this game there probably is. I'm thinking there probably is adamantine coming up. But
There we go. I sing it
are
wrong.
good to go. We will go back to our plan of returning to the Atelier to save before we continue with this great adventure that is bringing 5 adamants to a place.
You know, they could at least have called it adamant instead of adamantine if that was what they wanted, those sons of bitches. But anyway.
I think they could have called it Adam Ant, like the British pop star. Is that a pop star TV show? All right. We are done for now, folks. But when we come back, there will be more opportunities for you to leave comments and engage because Lethal wants you to.
Yep, all those
I wouldn't mind
dings
either.
all those dings you hear in the background, those are people leaving comments. You could be one of those dings tonight. We'll see you
Yes.
next time.
Please leave a comment about how you don't have time to watch television because Vulture Bronco is pulling on your sleeve. Bye for now.